Welcome to episode 144 of the Eavesdrop podcast, award-winning Eavesdrop podcast, nominated year again. I got nominated for Personality of the Year. I got nominated for Series. Did the Eavesdrop get nominated, Matt? Yeah. So 3 nominations for Papa.
Well
Content
done.
Creator of the Year, Esports Personality of the Year, and then, the show, the podcast.
We got Team of the Year.
Team of the Year?
Last 2020.
You guys got Team of the Year? What team was that?
Space Station Gaming.
Space Station. Shout out my man Shonduras.
Yes, sir.
Haven't talked to him in a long ass time, but it's all good. So today we have one of our newest members to the OpTic gaming team, to the OpTic squadron, Mr. Slater Thomas, Riddles backwards Slater. That's your first name. 19 years old, and I'm just reading up here. Started playing professionally in 2017. Previously, MECG, The Dudes, Honduras, Pittsburgh Knights, Space Station Gaming, approximate winnings, 254,000.
Yeah.
What'd you do with that money?
Nothing. I bought a Tesla and saved the rest.
Bought a Tesla, saved the rest. That's a good thing. You are originally from where?
Virginia. Small town near the beach, Virginia Beach. So,
well, welcome to OpTic and to the podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah?
I'm in.
Tell us a story. Let's start with who you are today. Who are you today?
I am Slater Thomas, also known as Riddles. I'm a professional Rocket League player, have been for 4 years now. Formerly Space Station of 2.5 years, now OpTic. I am one of 6 in the family.
Oh, are you youngest, oldest?
Second youngest.
4
brothers and a sister. Lived in Virginia most of my life, lived in Arkansas for a few years, but now we are in full-time in Dallas.
When you say we, who are you talking about?
I'm with the team right now. I'm here permanently. They're here for the season.
Got
for
it.
The regionals.
Got it. Any plans for them to be moving down here a lot more?
I'm not sure. They're going to be down here pretty permanently. Mm-hmm. It's like for the regionals, and then they're going to take a few weeks off, go home, play the major, come back.
Yeah.
So
are you going to go home too?
For Christmas, probably,
yeah,
but
good.
Nothing else.
Good, you should. I always make it a point for people to be like, look, it's really easy to get lost in the grind of this, especially when the opportunity just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But
right.
You also have to remember. And look, I'm guilty of not taking my own advice, but it is important for you to take some time and sort of focus on the things that matter and the reason why you're doing the things that you're doing.
100%.
So it's a 19-year-old. 2 years ago, you finished high school? Last year?
2021. So yeah, like a year and a half ago.
Okay. What was high school like for you? I mean, because you were playing.
Interesting, right? Yeah. It was good. I played soccer all the way up until high school, and then Rocket League hit. I pulled my hamstring. I was done with soccer for a bit.
Yeah.
Got really into Rocket League and quit soccer for it. It was something.
Why not FIFA?
I played a little FIFA, but the pro scene for that game is just bad. And I actually didn't plan on going pro in Rocket League. I just enjoyed it a lot, and I was addicted to it, and I just played a ton. And I was on Xbox at first, and I got to top 100 on Xbox and top 50 on Xbox, eventually number 1 on Xbox and 1v1s. And I played enough tournaments on Xbox to afford a piece of shit $400 PC.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played enough or made enough from tournaments on that to buy a nice $2,000 PC.
Yeah.
And now
a
we're here.
$20,000 PC.
No, imagine. I just invested a ton into my whole setup, so
that's good.
$10,000. So
that's good. That's really good. Obviously, like 19-year-old moving away from a small town, moving into a town like Dallas, right? Because you're somewhere around the neighborhood of Dallas.
Yep.
What's the experience like? Like what happens? This is the first time you're living on your own, and it's truly living on your own. You don't have any roommates. You don't have any roommates. You're essentially all on your own. Furnished, unfurnished.
Furnishing right now. I was on the call with my bank because they're declining my card because I'm in Dallas and they didn't know. And
yeah,
it's been a mess.
Yeah,
it's not fun. It is not fun.
It's being a grown up, man.
I know. I'm not excited.
Not excited? No, it does get a little bit easier. It doesn't get better, right? But it does get easier. Yeah. I mean, I talk shit a lot, but it does get a little bit better. But I always miss like my youth.
Pain.
19 years old. Let me see. 19 years old is 1999. Ooh, one of the best years ever for me. New Year's, December 31st, 1999. That's where I had my mushroom accident.
Yeah,
we won't talk about that here. All right, so tell me your story. How did you get to Like obviously you were telling me that your hamstring went away, right? You fucked it up, and then you started playing. You got to the top 100 in Xbox, but then what happens after that? Like what led you to be a professional and ultimately here?
So, like on Xbox, there were small like $50 weekly tournaments, and I would get straight home from school, start playing with buddies, win half of it, so $25, just over and over and over again for 6-9 months. Ended up buying that PC, and my biggest win in the beginning of my career was on that new $450 PC where I won a $4,000 1v1 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I brought home $2,000, and this was against like the best ones players of 2017, I think. It was called the Mock at 4K. And that was kind of when I was like, my parents were like, okay, like he can do this. It was the first time where I had to go downstairs as a 14, 15-year-old kid, and I was like, hey, can you guys give me your bank information so like they can wire this money? Because everything else was
How
PayPal.
did you explain that to them?
It was horrible. They were like, no, we're not giving you our bank information. It took like days of like me like showing them the proof, and like they even had to call up one of the casters, like one of the grown-ups. And it was,
I mean, if your 14-year-old kid comes downstairs, if my daughter came downstairs like, I need your wire instructions, like you can. I mean, that's so much information. That's banking information. Like that's like literally your key.
And you hear like these kids like getting scammed by
yeah. No, I would have done the same thing. So it took about a week for them to verify that it was like an actual thing?
Yeah, and it was a weird, I think, freshman, sophomore year of high school where I had gotten addicted to this, was putting in 8-10 hours a day. I was getting home from school at 4 p.m., playing till 4 a.m., going to bed for 2 hours, sleeping through my first like 3 hours of class, and it was a mess. I mean, my grades sucked. I wasn't making the money I am now, and my parents were like, what is he doing? Like, they would turn off the internet at midnight. I would sneak downstairs, go to the closet, turn it back on, and play for another few hours. And
they go back downstairs, unplug it.
They didn't understand. Yeah. Oh, every time before I had to go to bed. And they didn't understand it. I mean, it was new to them. It was new to everyone.
Yeah.
2017, 2018. But they're the most supportive parents now.
Yeah?
Oh,
good,
100%.
Man, good. So you walk downstairs. It's like Christmas, like, hey, I need your information.
Yeah.
Like, what's the first thing that they told you? I mean, obviously, besides the no.
No. Well, okay, they're like, no. And I was like, please. Like, I showed them, like, my PayPal. Like, I showed them, like, the $25 tournaments that I won, like, and stacked up a few $100. And I was like, please. Like, I showed them that. And then they gave me the most throwaway piece of crap bank account they could find on a tiny bank in Virginia.
Yeah.
And I still have it to this day. That's who I was on the phone with this morning.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this bank account has $100 on it. Nothing else. Use this. If it's real, it's real. And I still use it to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Was there the opportunity to just get a check sent over to you?
No, because it was like this tiny tournament organizer that was like, they were only doing it this way and nothing else, and I couldn't do anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I can see why. It's just like all the extra work. Like, it's up to you to convince them. We get to keep the money. We get to keep the money. That's pretty good. Your teammates, obviously, are they people that you've been competing with for a long time?
Yep. AJ, who me and him do it up pretty early in the off season. I got dropped from Space Station. He got dropped from FaZe. We actually teamed before, like 2 years ago, for a few months during season 9.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go great, but we're very different players nowadays. And then Magic is someone who he's been on
Magic Bear,
Chris Acevedo. He has been on the bubble, like between 8 to 12 in North America, and he's never really had his chance at the top yet. But he's someone who, in the beginning of Season X, which is around 2020, in the fall split, Space Station Gaming, the team that I was on, was the best team in North America. Pretty undisputed. We won a regional and a major, that split. And Alpine, this random team out of nowhere that just gave us so many troubles. Like, they were the only team that split to have a positive record against us, and he was spearheaded the charge. And he's someone that a lot of pros have known will eventually come up. He just needed his chance.
Yeah, and this is where it begins.
This is where he gets it.
Obviously, as you're going through these sort of like, I don't want to call it like roster mania, because that's like a super Call of Duty thing.
Oh, it's everywhere. It's
everywhere now. Yeah. What was that like? I mean, obviously, it had to have been stressful. Yeah.
Not fun. Thankfully, I had a really good world's performance, and thankfully, I have my brand to fall back on, which a lot of orgs value a ton.
Mm-hmm.
So, as soon as I got dropped from Space Station, I had quite a few offers coming in. But, I mean, as soon as I got dropped, I reached out to Mist, who's now in FaZe. He replaced AJ. I was like, hey, we teamed in the past. We won a major together. Let's do this again. He was like, all right, if I don't get FaZe, we'll do it. He got FaZe, but that just opens up AJ for me. And those two players are They're both top 10 in North America.
Mm-hmm.
They're two guys that I'm close with that I'm very confident in. So regardless of who I got, I was glad, but I'm pretty glad I got AJ.
That's awesome. You talked about your brand a little bit. What was the importance of like, where did you get that knowledge? Because a lot of people, as you know, professional players just play professionally. They don't take into account the opportunity that's also there for them. What gave you that sort of insight as to how to approach your situation?
A mix of you guys and a mix of Shonduras as well.
Mm-hmm.
We would go to Utah a decent amount for Space Station, and he would just show me like the money they were making, the people they were reaching, and it was just something where it doesn't take that much time. I mean, I employ a full-time editor because I'm able to, and I'm glad that I'm able to. I wasn't always able to, but it really, you stream for 2 hours or you record for 45 minutes. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do much. I wish more pro players would take it because it's hard to find people to record with from Rocket League. There's only a few. There's Arsenal, Space Station, AJ, there's Squishy, Garrett, but they don't really collab with anyone. So it's really just Arsenal, apparently Jack, AJ. No other North American pros really post that much, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. What do you like? I mean, obviously the main purpose is to grow your brand as much as you can, but also the fallback. You become sort of like a double threat. You have this insane game skill, right? Which is what originally people look out for. Well, people that treat this thing as a sports organization, right, instead of like a media organization, the way that we do. So that was definitely like a super plus for us, right? Like, well, oh my God, this dude falls right in line with our wheelhouse as to how we approach the space, not just esports, but the entirety of the space. So for us, it was like an easy no-brainer. When did you upload your first videos, and what do you like? What would you tell somebody in your position on how to start to do what you did?
If you're already a pro, all you have to do is be consistent. I mean, even if you have 2,000 followers on Twitter, if you're already a professional player, you have eyes on you regardless. It's not like you're starting from the bottom. People know who you are. So you just post consistently. You post beating other top players. You post beating other top content creators. You post collabing with other top content creators. Rocket League, a lot of the content creators and pro players don't have a huge content ego. Most of them will collab with you. If you're already a known player, you have the foundation you need. You just have to go after it. You have to be consistent. It's the biggest thing. Consistency on YouTube is tough because you post, or say you record a few videos in a day. Yeah, I'm feeling this. Those days will come where you're just like, I have no energy. I don't want to record. And I still have them. I mean, I've been daily for 6 months now, and most of the times I've missed uploads are because of events. But I mean, even last night, my audio cut out one of my videos, and I was just too lazy. I mean, everyone has their motivation spurts and also the opposite. So you just have to be consistent, realize you're doing it to set yourself up.
That's right. That's good. I mean, not a lot of people have that forward thinking sort of approach to what they're doing, and more often than not, they end up regretting not taking the time. I mean, you see it nowadays with Call of Duty pros who are not being picked up by big teams, who are now like, all right, I guess I'm going to do content. But man, for you to start content in a time where it's the only thing that you have going for you, it is like you're putting so much pressure on yourself at that point that you almost put yourself in a position to fail because you don't really give your creativity or your free time or your passion for the game room to breathe or room to exist, in a silo aside from being successful as a streamer. Right. So my contention from the beginning of time was like, do it while you are in a position to do it while you're popular, do it while you're competing in these big places, because by the time that you get around to, let's say you're in the last 3 years of your career, right? And you don't know when your career is going to end because you don't know if you're going to be performing or you don't know if you're going to end. And the ones that baffle me the most are the ones that are really, really good at the game and that really, really have an opportunity to do that. Those guys are the ones that baffle me. Not as well. Let me rephrase that. The ones that aren't at the top, the ones that aren't the professionals, that the starters, the fucking superstars, those are the people that should be super focused on getting their 8 hours of practice in, and then spending like an additional 2 hours not sleeping or not grinding on other game, something else, or if you are grinding the game, like getting online and doing that, because at least you're building something. You're building your content strategy for 3 years, right? Thinking that it's a 3-year sort of life cycle for certain players. Those are the ones that baffle me the most because, like, that you are not the best of the best. You know that you may or may not get picked up. So why not start on your fallback during those times and truly start to focus on what your opportunity could be post-retirement, right? If you have a big following, you have a better chance of being picked up as an analyst. If you have a big following, you have a better opportunity being picked up for an organization that you can create content for, and it just makes life easier for you. But for you to be like, fuck, man, I don't have a team. I guess I'm going to do content. Do you know how impossible it is?
It's so hard.
It's mind-boggling to me. And then the worst part about it is that people used to get mad at me in the COD scene for saying these things to, about pro players. And they're like, no, we're only supposed to compete. And I'm like, no one's benefiting on this but you. I'm telling players who will never play for me, who are never going to be on my team, to do this for themselves. And people were still like, yeah, that's not my thing. I'm like, you're not doing it for me. I'm just suggesting this for fucking you. And sure enough, like we get to a point to where it's retirement time and everyone's like,
where's my money?
Yeah, it's like, I guess it's time to start this thing. Yeah. But you're now competing against
everyone and people that are better than you and more eyes around them. And
with a spot as part of an org, constantly on it.
Yeah. The worst part is a lot of these players, like, a lot of them are hilarious and super, like, fun to watch, like, good mechanically. And, all they had to do is just do what they're doing, just turn on a camera. And it's even worse when you have players that stream once and they don't get the viewers they want. They're like, oh, well, people don't want to watch me. Yeah. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
That's right.
Unless you're winning every single tournament in your respective esport, content makes more money than competitive. It always has, it always will. Content is just what makes money. YouTube specifically. Twitch makes a lot if you're at the top, and now they just announced their 50-50 split. And it just, all it takes is a little bit of time and consistency. Just pay someone to do the dirty work for you. I have a full-time editor, like I said. All I do is I record, and I send him the footage. He uploads it, titles it, bios it, thumbnails it.
The whole
thing.
He
does everything.
Yeah.
All I do is upload it.
For your social salsa?
No. He has access to my TikTok and YouTube, but not like my Twitter or anything, but probably soon. But all you have to do is upload it to a Google Drive, and that's it. Some days it'll take me 22 minutes to get a YouTube video.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
It's
not something that you just benefit from a monetary standpoint, but also, like, you have a chance. And this is what I also tell everybody here at the studio, is that each and every single one of if you consider one piece of content a mango, for example, right? What do you do with the first layer of the peel, right? Like, you peel it off, and what are you doing with the skin of the mango? Okay, like, that's one thing. This is one piece of content. You peel it off, and then it's doing something. Whatever it is it's doing, you're burning it. It's incense now.
Yep.
Or you're taking the actual fruit, and then you're cutting it up and redistributing it everywhere so everybody can get a piece. And each and every single one of these pieces has the opportunity to be monetizable, but also, more importantly, have the opportunity to go viral or to reach a new person that's going to follow you because they didn't know you existed, but you actually look like my cousin, and now I like you a little bit more. Or you are saying the same shit that I've been fucking saying, and we relate so much, so I'm going to watch you. I'm going to put my friends onto you because, like, it is beyond me how people don't understand that essentially what you're doing is you're just, like, redistributing the same. The one piece of content can go in 15 different places and can have 15 different benefits for your brand, whether it's monetary or exposure or just a consistency, a teaching, a learning. Like, it is just beyond me.
Yep.
How people don't give themselves the opportunity to truly extract what they could be had they given themselves a chance to do that.
Especially in Rocket League too, because we play so many tournaments, and you can post comms videos, you can post scrim highlights, you can post tournament predictions, you can post everything. And I think a big thing is a lot of people are scared that, they'll predict something and then they'll lose early and then social media will attack them. And it's just, a lot of people are kind of scared to put their thoughts out there and be, I guess, controversial, not in a bad way, but I just think the biggest thing is do what you do, think what you think, don't let society or the Rocket League community conform your thoughts, and just, I don't know. There are so many players that, if you ask any pro, I am average to below average on the, like, individual mechanical point, I still get, probably top 5 views in North American pro Rocket League players. If these players that were on the higher side of it, or the upper echelon, that are hilarious. Like there's Atomic from G2, one of the funniest dudes I've ever talked to. There's, it just Mist is hilarious from FaZe. AJ now, once he's a little in his shell a little bit, but once he gets out of it, one of the funniest dudes I've talked to. There's just so many people that have good personalities. They just don't want to put in that tiny extra work because it really doesn't take that much. Yeah. Everyone associates it with like uploading the video and then editing it. You don't have to do that. As a pro player, I know these players' salaries more than enough to have someone to just, even if it's once a week, twice a week.
Yeah.
And
it's a write-off.
It is. Yeah, I know.
Right?
Man.
You benefit in so many ways than one. So obviously you're super young. What are you looking at this thing as a launch pad for something else? Are you already thinking about what other opportunities come from this thing?
Well, opportunities definitely come from OpTic, and as soon as I got benched from Space Station, I've told this story a few times, but it was right at the end of the World Championship. It was still going on. We had just got knocked out the day before. I had figured something was going on because our comms were super dead, and I had heard rumors, but I just played. I had no other option. And then right before the grand final starts, I hear a rumor from a European player that I'm kicked. I ask my coach. He tells me the truth. And I go straight back to my hotel, call my agent. He rushes to meet me there. Shout out Jonathan. And we're just scheming, sitting there in the hotel lobby. I'm like, I was blown. But thankfully, I had a good tournament. And the first org that came out of my lips was OpTic, because grinding content and just the environment here is what I always looked for.
Well, let's hope it is true, right? The environment that you've only been experiencing has been through a screen,
right?
But I'm pretty sure that if you talk to everybody, like we are what we say we are on screen.
Yep.
It'd be, if to put up a facade for 15 years would be just almost impossible.
Yeah, that'd be impressive.
So I'm really happy to have you on board. Have you been? So you're 19. You knew of OpTic before like all this happened. Like how long have you done?
60-50 SCUF House.
No, how old were you back then?
That's like 12. Black Ops 2? Yeah.
Black Ops 2, that's 2014. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. Good times.
Good times.
Good times.
Excellent times. I will.
You got any questions that you want to ask me about the 60-50?
Oh, man.
Finish your thought. You want what?
Yeah. I won't say that I was like a diehard OpTic fan, but COD is where I came from. And OpTic is where I watched and, Nade Shot and.
Shout out my brother.
I have a lot of friends that are much bigger diehard OpTic fans than I am, but this is like, if you could have asked 12-year-old Riddles where he wanted to be, it would have been OpTic.
Awesome, man. That's always good to hear. It warms my heart to no end. So if you had a question about 60-50, what would it be? Like, what have you always done?
Probably the Pomage story.
Pomage wasn't in 60-50.
No, not 60-50. Wherever he was when he was banging on the neighbor's door. And
yeah. Like the
he was super wasted.
Yeah, he was. You know what's crazy is that's not even one of the craziest stories. The craziest stories from Pomage and Embos is that one time they went to a bar in Palatine, Illinois. It was called Dirty Nelly's.
Okay.
Us back in the 90s, we used to call it Dirty with a U, Dirty Nelly's. And they closed down the bar. Him and Embos. Their phones are dead. There's no way to charge because the bar's closed. So they are. I would say. I guess I can look it up. Directions. So anyway, they have no phone, and they can't call an Uber. They can't call any of the friends. It's fucking 2, 3 in the morning, so it's not like they can just walk into the. What's crazy is that if they would have walked away from the house, they could have gone to a gas station that's like right around that area. Directions from Dirty Nelly's in Palatine, Illinois, to McAlpin Drive, Inverness. If this works, shout out Google. Oh my God, it does.
Got everything.
It is a total of 11 minute. Wait, that's an 11-minute drive, 5.2 miles.
Jeez.
So
at 3 a.m.
You don't understand though. This fucking road, bro. It's Bradwell Road and Palatine Road. Well, actually, they took the. I'm just trying to expand it, but they walked in darkness because there's
no phone, so no flashlight.
So no flashlight, no phone, and there's cars zooming by, and it's not like there's a shoulder. It sinks down into like those water retainer things. So they're just walking. No one's gonna pick them up, right? It's this two tall dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like in the middle of the night, no one's picking them up, and they're drunk. More than likely. So they walked and walked and walked, and obviously like they live there, but they don't know how to fuck. When you walk, driving is one thing because you can truly, quickly turn around. But when you're walking, your timing gets fucked up. So it's in the dark.
Especially if you're drunk.
You're drunk. I mean, I don't know how drunk they were, but they just kept. They walked and they finally made it home, and it was like a 5-mile walk, dude, in the dark. No, and again, there's no street lights because it's forested area. So there's like literal forest where there's coyotes, there's fucking deer.
What time of year is this? What's the weather looking like?
I don't know, but it was foggy. That's all I know. So maybe it was like maybe autumn or spring. But that to me was the craziest one because just all the shit that could have gone wrong. They could have literally gotten lost in one of those neighborhoods if they would have said like, let's cut through here, and this is one of those streets that curves and brings you back around to where you started. Like this could have gone. Yeah, you're just gonna.
How did they get home?
They walked.
But like how? I'm surprised they knew where to go.
That's what I'm saying.
That's impressive.
That's impressive.
That's typical.
Dude, it literally 5 miles. And it is Dirty Nelly's with a U. Dirty Nelly's Gastropub and Concert Hub in Palatine, Illinois.
What's the craziest Big T story you got? Because he's been here forever. You gotta have something. Craziest that you can tell on the podcast, of course.
Let me think. He's about to be a married man now. You know what I mean? And nothing to do with girls, right? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Big T has always been the least of my worries.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Because he's always been like that steady rock that like I can lean on anytime something was going fucking wrong. So that's like he'll forever and always be my man. But yeah, I
didn't realize how involved he was. Same with Bose. I knew they were still with OpTic, but like them being in our announcement video and stuff, that was awesome.
Yeah, no, we all come together when something important like that, and they're here like weekly creating the content. But the majority of their time is obviously like Embos has like obviously his side business, and Big Timer obviously has a side business.
The Green Wall Street
thing. So they do their thing, and we form like Voltron when we need to.
I like it.
Do you know what Voltron is? Matt, bring up Voltron. Matt, do you know what Voltron is?
Voltron is. I was gonna say
it's something like that. Yeah, it's something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like both of those things. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Voltron. Oh my god, it's the best.
That's pretty Transformers.
It is the fucking best though, because they're like Panthers.
What year is that?
What year?
2016. You don't know.
No, it's not. It's like when the original Voltron release date. Original Voltron.
Guess the year. What do we got?
I'm gonna say 1993. 1984, 10 years late. I didn't hear about him until I got to. No, actually, I did hear about him as a kid. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. One of the best. I mean, cartoons back then were so fucking incredible, man. Like just the imagination alone, and nothing had already like nothing was saturated, nothing was like overexplored. And I do think when was Transformers released, Matt? Transformers release date 1984. So who bit who? What is?
I was about to say who was?
Yeah, who copied who? But
7 days apart.
7 days apart. But I mean, everybody knew that it was coming out. It was probably released. Legendary Defender. Anyway, fucking incredible cartoons back then. Growing up, did you have a favorite cartoon?
No, to be honest, I didn't. I never watched a ton of TV. Johnny Test was a big one. I'm a big Johnny Test guy, but that's way past your era. You're an old head.
I don't even know what that is.
It's just here. Pull it up, Matt. Matt, you know what Johnny Test is?
No, Matt doesn't know that either, dude.
Oh yeah, this is the one.
I've never seen this.
And SpongeBob was always a classic as well. You know SpongeBob.
I do know SpongeBob.
I was just always a huge gamer. Like I never watched a bunch of TV, and like me and my brothers would play Halo because I have two older brothers, and they would play Halo 3, and I would sit there and like they would give me a controller unplugged, and I like would think I was playing. I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I mean, me and my dad always played like like the arcade games where you can like pull the gun out of the side.
Mm-hmm.
It was like those. Yeah, I forget what it was called, but on like PS3.
Yeah. Oh no, I never played on a console. I played at the arcade. growing up in the place that you did, what was your high school like? I mean, because obviously you were playing during those times, right? Actually, give me a second. Let me say hello to the sponsors really quickly,
Okay.
and then we'll be right back. The sponsor this week happens to be Honey, obviously coming back for like the umpteenth time. So certainly appreciate their support for always supporting the Eavesdrop podcast, the award-winning Eavesdrop podcast, as you guys know. And as I've told you before, Honey is an application that you can download straight to your computer or your mobile phone, which allows you to scour the internet. Once you get to the checkout line, whether it's on BestBuy.com, whether it's on Walmart, Target, Pizza Hut, as the story always goes, we always have the ability at the checkout time to just click on the Honey button, which will scour the entire internet for coupons that apply to you specifically for that time. And you can watch it drop. The prices drop right in front of your face as you're doing it, right? Because thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past, right? Honey is a free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one that finds to your cart. And how does that work? Well, it's very simple. Imagine you're shopping one of your favorite sites, as I just mentioned, whether it's Best Buy, Target, whatever it is. When you check out, the Honey button appears, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. You wait a few seconds as Honey searches the entirety of the internet for coupons that they can find for that specific site that you're shopping on. If Honey finds a coupon that works, you'll watch the prices drop right in front of you. Most recently, because I'm done telling the Pizza Hut story, but most recently we needed a bunch of lights here, so went to the website, applied the coupons, we're able to get all these super bright lights. And I don't know what happened to the old ones, but these obviously are way better. But same thing happened, right? We saw how much the total was going to be, and immediately saw the Honey button, clicked it, watched the prices drop, and we were able to get a good discount on there. So, Honey doesn't just work on your desktop, it works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone, and you can save on the go. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll only be doing yourself a solid and also supporting this podcast and the show, which obviously is something that I personally appreciate, and I appreciate you for doing that. I'd never recommend something that we don't use. That's a fact. And you can get Honey for free right now if you go to joinhoney.com/eavesdrop. That is joinhoney.com/EAVESDROP. I'll leave a link in the description down below to make it super easy for you to just go there, click it, download it if you haven't already. So for all of you who are new that are coming here to watch my man Riddles, anybody from the Rocket League community, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, but also if you're looking to save some cash on the internet while you're shopping at some of your favorite sites, joinhoney.com, as I mentioned, link in the description. Watch the prices drop, save some money, support the podcast, support OpTic. That's all we can do. So thank you to Honey. I appreciate the support, always coming through clutch. We were talking about your high school. Like you were playing almost. Were you a professional at that point? Like
yes.
in your senior year.
Yep.
So what was your high school like? I mean, did people know that you were a gamer, a professional, etc.?
So I was actually professional in my sophomore year. Mm-hmm. So sophomore year, 16 years old. I just competed at my first LAN, DreamHack Dallas, and then that was the year where we had 2019. So DreamHack Dallas in May. I made RLCS the week before that. So RLCS back then was an 8-team format. The bottom 2 from the previous season and then the top 2 from the minor league played in a tournament, and we won that. So we went up. Next week, played DreamHack Dallas, May 31st, 2019. And then we qualified for DreamHack Valencia, played that in July 4th. And neither of those were great placements, but just, first 2 LANs with all the best teams in the world there. And then DreamHack Montreal, 2019, is still my only LAN win to this day, where we were the 12th seed. It's like the craziest Cinderella story in Rocket League. All of us were 16 years old, still the youngest team to ever win an international LAN. It was like the best day of my life. We weren't even going to go to that event. We had just picked up a kid that lived in New York. Mm-hmm. So both my teammates lived in New York. They both drove up. They convinced their families to drive like the 7-8 hours to Montreal. I flew up. We had just signed with an org, Pittsburgh Knights, but it wasn't announced yet. And they delayed the announcement until after DreamHack Montreal that we won, because they wanted to get, they were kind of owned by the Steelers, and they wanted to get them involved. So we won that, and that's where it kind of blew up. And I had only told my girlfriend at the time and then one of my best friends. And then after that, everyone found out. And that was a weird year for me, because those 3 LANs and then Worlds in Madrid and a few Pittsburgh trips, I had gotten 35 absences. So I had to go in front of the board and show them pay stubs and why it was called extenuating circumstances, and they didn't grant it, even though I had
what fucking haters
at the time, a $5,000 a month salary and this 16,000.
They were hating. They're I don't get paid $5,000.
But thankfully, I had a lot of cool teachers that I told them about it, and I was like, I'm doing fine. Can you please just pass me? And they all did. So
Yeah, that's very cool. Shout out to them.
for real.
More often than not, like people in positions like that who want the best for you only know their way as the right way, and they don't want to be responsible for the plan that you have outside of school to not pan out, and then them being like, oh, I didn't prepare this kid to go to college. Yeah, so it makes it difficult for them. So those circumstances that people talk about change from person to person, and in your case, obviously you were you were not what they were expecting you to be, right? Like, it's like who expects anyone to be a professional gamer? I mean, I wonder what schools nowadays is like I mean, I know that some high schools have like an esports programs,
stuff,
yeah.
Right?
I wonder like how many high schools, like, does every single high school have it now?
I don't think so, but definitely a lot more than when I was in school, and obviously when you were in school. But yeah, back.
I wonder if my high school, my old high school has it. If not,
maybe. You should be in the Hall of Fame.
I'm not even on their Wikipedia. Let me see. Wheeling High School esports. Nah, preseason here at each of the largest high school event. No, they don't have it. Wheeling High School homepage. Maybe I can help with that. Maybe I can help with that. Go back to some good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To a school that gave me
back
nothing.
home. Yeah.
That was good, Matt. Esports. Let me see. Esports. Esports Nights provides the organization. But no, this is Prospect High School, Elk Grove High School. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no, not my what's it called? Alma mater? Is that right? Is that what it's called? Yeah, not my alma mater. Pretty cool. The Wheeling High School, man.
Yeah, they weren't gonna fail because, like, I moved to Virginia or back to Virginia in the middle of 5th grade. 5th through 9th grade, I went to a school, and then I mean I knew everyone there because I was there for 4 years, and I guess I was popular in middle school terms. I just would talk to everyone, and then as I got rezoned to a different school, like the rival school, and I just didn't really feel the need to. That was actually like in the transition point from soccer to Rocket League.
Ooh.
So I mean, I didn't feel the need to go out and meet a ton of people. I met like my very close friend group that I'm still with now, but all I did was I just slept through class and played Rocket League.
Yeah. Obviously you played soccer, so that adds a little bit of a level of popularity. Obviously playing sports in high school is like super cool. So that's awesome. Aside from soccer, were you interested in any other stuff there?
I played basketball a little bit, like through middle school. I was never really that good, and that's about it. I played soccer my whole life though, up until high school, and then Rocket League hit. Yeah.
So let me ask you about your side interests. Obviously, Rocket League can't be the only thing.
It can't. I've been getting into golfing recently.
Okay.
I'm not good, but me and Rambo talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Lifting has been on and off for the last year and a half. The last like 2 months, I've slacked so much because of Worlds, and then this whole, and I need to get back into it. And then when I'm at home, surfing is a big thing for me because I'm only like an hour away from Outer Banks, North Carolina. So when my brother lived here, I would go there pretty often, but now he's in San Diego, so killed that.
They got waves out there now. Wait, San Diego? No, right?
Oh, San Diego, 100%.
Yeah.
East Coast waves suck.
Yeah,
but West Coast, I got to go out there.
You do have to go out there. So surfing. Have you like obviously like on you because. What happens in the space that we live in is that you start out making money by playing video games, and then you sort of try to explore like what your entrepreneurial spirit looks like, right? Have you thought about any of those things? Because you're so young that the best thing that you can do is like start thinking about that now, and maybe start working on it like a little bit without letting it be a distraction. The same way that you hire an editor, maybe you can hire somebody to do like side things. There is something that interests you like that or not?
I haven't fully jumped into it. I invest a little bit into stocks and crypto. I need to get a financial advisor. I have like a list of things I have to do in Dallas. The first month I have to go to the DMV, I have to go to a new bank, and then I have to go talk to a financial advisor. I haven't done any of them yet, but that is something I'd probably be interested in just because I'm 19 years old. I just got my first apartment and I've been stacking money for the last 4 years. I have a decent amount of free money that is just sitting there.
Nest egg just sitting there.
And being 19, I have a ton of time until I'm even 35, 40 to just invest it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that as a 29-year-old where everything fell apart for me, I was still able to make it out alive. So you are good. You know, fail as much as you can.
Good right now.
I mean, not on purpose, right? Like if it happens, it happens. But I do think that sort of planning for the future in that regard, like will set you apart. Like you cannot believe, right? Like it's especially in the age of the internet, especially like you're talking about crypto and Web3 and where that's going to be going. Like I think all the stuff that's going to be normal to kids that are way younger than you, like you know, that are growing up right now, like that's going to be so new to them that it's just going to be natural. So I think that, you know, taking the time to learn those opportunities is like super important.
100%.
I wanted to ask you, what the fuck was I going to ask you? All right, so what's the future plans? Obviously, like oh, you know what? I remember the question that I wanted to ask you. Obviously, as you're going through this process of living on your own, when it's fresh in your mind, what is the toughest things that you have to deal with right now currently that people can look to when it's time for them to move out of their house?
Okay.
It's like,
yeah.
Well, what do you have to do today?
Today I woke up at 8 a.m. and I called my bank to try and get this hold off my card. They said there wasn't a hold on my card, but that doesn't make sense because my card got declined yesterday when I tried to buy furniture, but there's plenty of money in that account. Then I called the furniture people and asked them if they could try it again. It failed again, and it's just a mess. There are a lot of things that your parents do that you don't realize they do until
it's time.
You don't have them. I mean, even just, and I did chores around the house. I would mow the lawn, wash the dishes, whatever. But there are just the smallest things that you have to grocery shop for in the world. Like Ziploc bags. Yeah. I've never fucking bought Ziploc bags. They're just like trash bags, Ziploc bags, dish soap, chapstick. I mean, there's just, I went to Target with my mom because she helped me do the drive here. I drove 20 hours and she was here from Friday to Monday. We went to the Dallas game and we went to Target and we were like, all right, just what I need for the week. We ended up spending like $800 just like, because I went to go furnish the apartment, so I had to get like bowls, plates, forks, all that stuff. And then you're like, all right, this is what we need. And then you see pots and pans, you're like, okay, I need that. And then you see plates, and you're like, okay, I need that. And then just the small stuff like an air fryer, a rice cooker, stuff like that. And then we're like, all right, we have an entire cart and a half. And we haven't even gotten to the food yet.
Right.
Then you go to the food, and then you get chicken, rice, waters, fruits, snacks. And then you pass by, you know, the like deodorant and dishwash, and it's just, there's so much stuff you have to buy. And I mean, I lived on my own with Arsenal.
Toilet paper?
Oh, toilet paper, dude wipes.
Yeah.
I lived on my own with Arsenal in Miami for a month and a half, 2 months, but that was easy because it was already furnished, and you know, I was 17 years old. I'd order food every day.
So what does your apartment look like right now?
So right now I'm in the player apartments down in Dallas, and right now it's a 3-bedroom that is used with the NV/OpTic players whenever they're just there for a little bit. And right now it just looks like me, Magic Bear, AJ, and then the absolute bare essentials. Like we do cooking enough. Like there's a ton of frozen food, bunch of waters, snacks, cereal. But soon, tomorrow actually, I get access to my new apartment. Cool. I can show that on stream.
Well, show that on stream, not on the podcast.
Yeah.
Say that for your stuff. Yeah. Save it. I mean, I can tell you that what worked for me in the past, and actually I just experienced it about 4 years ago when I moved away from Jude and my daughter and our house in Chicago to the apartments down here, and I lived by myself for like a month, right? And you know, what I would do. Obviously, Judith furnished the whole thing, so I didn't have to worry about you know, the furniture and stuff.
Rugs.
All I had to,
rugs, lamps,
lamps,
a coffee table, a bed stand. It's like, I was looking at it and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a bed, a TV stand, a TV, and a couch. Yeah, 4 things. Yep. Dude, I'm looking at that website. I'm like, okay, I gotta get some box springs. I gotta get a mattress. I gotta get a mattress pad. It's like, oh my.
Yeah. It was an exciting time, though.
It is an exciting time.
It's such an exciting time.
And it's, you know, something you got to do a few times in your life, and you just have to do it. But it is expensive. Yeah. Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. Dude, what I would do is I would walk around. I would walk into a room, because I got sick of, like, fuck, where's this shit at? Yeah. Like, oh, my God, I got to order this. Yeah. And I got to the point, too, by the time that I was ordering a third thing online, I was just like, all right. This is obviously not working, yeah. So I started from the door. I walked down the hallway. I'm like, okay, what is this hallway missing? Yeah. maybe something here. So I would write down notes, and I would like, okay, what does the first bedroom need? Okay, well, it needs a bed frame, and then sheets, it needs that. And I would just write down bathroom. Okay, bathroom, and then I would put a category for bathroom. How many bathrooms? Order 3 of those same things. Maybe, so I went through it, and I was just like, because I never really lived on my own ever.
Right.
Like I went from living at my parents' house to living with my now wife, Jude.
Yep.
And she's always handled everything for me. I'm like the biggest baby.
They're blessed. They bless us.
They super bless us, right? Like I went from my mom to Jude being the ones to take care of me, and God bless her because she's literally got 8 kids or 10 kids in her hands, right? We got the dogs, we got Liv, and then we got me. So it's tough, but it is an exciting. It is an important part in any human when they leave the nest and they go off on their own to experience that.
Thankfully, I've been eased into it a little bit. I
was 24, dude. You're doing it at 19. That's insane.
Yeah, but I do have a little bit more help than you do because I have Ian. Shout out Ian at NV now OpTic, and he's done He's like our page. Mm-hmm. He's done everything for us, and he's been better than I could ask for.
Shout out Ian.
Shout out Ian.
Yeah, super good. All right. Well, listen. Any close anything that you want to talk about? I mean, obviously we have what do we have coming up?
Okay, so. The new season, there are 3 splits, 3 majors, and then worlds. So the first one that is announced is Rotterdam, Netherlands. No one is auto-qualified for it. This is the toughest NA has ever been. It is beginning of December. So there's 3 regionals. You have to finish in the top 5 of North America to make the major. You get like points per placing, and it's tough. There are realistically 9 teams that could be there. No one is guaranteed. So there's FaZe, G2, V1, SSG, NRG. So those were like the 5 from last season. There's us, Complexity, Jack's team, who has, they're an org but not announced yet. And Furia, who are probably a top 5 team in the world that lived in South America and they just moved here. So we have Furia, we have Complexity, both South American teams. Complexity got here last season, but they just made a roster move from a European player that's flying in. Mm-hmm. And you have Jack and Nolly's team. So you have 3 teams that are major potential and with 5 spots. Everyone thought a 6th spot was getting added because there were like rumors of it and nothing.
Yeah.
So from what went to a probably 6-team region last season is now a 9 with only 5 spots. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a single team in Rocket League is guaranteed in this. Maybe G2 and FaZe because they were at the top last season and FaZe debatably made an upgrade. I don't think so, but because AJ's on my team now.
Yeah.
And then G2 who they were grand finalists. They were major winners last season, but it's the tightest it's ever been. Mm-hmm. 1 bad regional and you're not making the major. So...
And what does that do? Like, if that's like, what does that just set your season?
Not really. Last season we actually didn't make major 1. So top 5 made it last season, and us and Complexity were tied at 5th, 6th after all 3 regionals. So we had to play a best of 7 tiebreaker. We lost in game 7.
No,
that was tough. Sipical ended up leaving the team for FaZe, and then we picked up Daniel, like the wonder kid, and then we made winter, spring, and worlds. So it doesn't really affect it that much, but missing 2 is tough. Magic Bear, who we just picked up, hasn't been in a major yet. And AJ obviously was top 4 at Worlds with FaZe. So we got a lot of work to do. We have the pieces, but I mean, it's just full of talent this season. So it's not going to be easy.
I've never been to the Netherlands. And
let's go. And we'll be there.
When is it?
December 9th, I think. Matt, you can probably pull it up on Liquipedia if you want.
Yeah, he's pulling that up in the meantime. I mean, my December's it's so effed.
Even like, the beginning?
Yeah, just already committed. But I do want to. I haven't traveled to Europe. I was supposed to bring my passport here for Paige to renew, and I've been forgetting. But luckily, she's not here to remind me of it. So Asia Pacific, APAC, Middle East, and North America, blah blah blah, Oceania. Okay, December 8th through the 11th. Do we have anything, Matt? I mean, if I could get my passport by then, I might be.
I missed the first OpTic major for the new team.
No, I cannot. Oh.
Plus, Netherlands is gonna be sweet.
You ever been?
Nope.
So how do you know?
Because it's new. New places are always sweet.
Rotterdam.
The only place in Europe I've been are Madrid, Valencia, London.
I've never been to Spain.
Really?
Never been to Spain. I want to so
badly.
Madrid
was sweet. Madrid in December?
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome, dude. We went to this okay, so I was 16 at the time, knew nothing but the U.S. And so we would eat like Five Guys and McDonald's, and because it was scary. Like, new stuff is scary, especially when they don't speak English, and you like have to point to the stuff on the menu. So the last night we were there, like, you're good. Good. The last night we were there, so the 4 NA teams back then were us, PK, Space Station, NRG, and E United.
Yeah.
And PK, SSG, and E United, all three of the teams, including the coaches and even the subs of 2 of the teams, were like best friends. So we did everything together. And the last night, in like the 38-degree weather, in the like this little hole-in-the-wall taco shop in Madrid, we went, and there was a 45-minute line. You had to wait outside the entire time. People were like leaving, and we finally got in. Nowhere to sit, just the tiny booth to order. $1 tacos, the best thing I've ever eaten to this day. It's called Tacos in Madrid. It's incredible.
Fuck out of here.
It was the best. To be fair, I haven't had super good Mexican food.
Okay.
Like I said,
Right.
I lived in a beach town.
Yeah.
But the best.
Don't talk crazy, man.
I know. We got to try
crazy.
something. But if we ever go to Madrid for Rocket League again, I'll take you to that place, because that place was insane.
Man, I tell you, I'm the biggest stickler when it comes to tacos. So I'm gonna take it to.
Paige was telling me about it.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, if I'm not the professional Mexican here, who is, right? And I'm not. It's not like I'm gonna steer anybody wrong. Like, I can't do that. I gotta. Of
course.
I gotta do the best that I can to guide everybody to the best spots. And so far, so good. It takes a while to get to where we need to get to, but at the end of the day, it's a work in progress. Look, man, I'm excited to have you. I'm excited to see what you do from a content perspective. I'm excited for what you bring to OpTic. I hope to be traveling with you guys as much as I can. But it's an exciting time for us at OpTic, right? Especially off of the back of some some unfortunate circumstances.
Yep.
So for us, it's about keeping our heads high and eyes forward. So I look forward to being teammates with you. I look forward to the content we're going to create together. If there's anything that I could ever do for you, obviously, do not hesitate to ask. But you're in good hands. So thank you for joining, brother. Appreciate you. Of course. This won't be the last time you appear here. Hope to have you on the OpTic podcast soon enough. Everybody, all of his information is going to be in the description down below. Be sure to follow him. Because we're going places, gosh darn it, as you guys know. Anyway, that's going to do it for this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to not leave without leaving a like. Again, all his information, episode 144. Thank you to Honey. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
See ya.